regarding whether I would get this personally, it actually probably depends on how they package this, okay? So if you look over here, it has this jacket, right? Now, Jazwares is infamous for their cloth, the cloth accessories and stuff, the clothing and stuff, staining the figures. If they put this figure in the box with that jacket on him, I'm probably not going to get this, because I don't want to buy a $50 figure that's stained and looks horrible because they put the flippin' jacket on him in the box, okay? This deluxe 6-inch action figure is inspired by Owen's iconic run in the mid-1990s. It enters the ring with a soft entrance robe, crown, and pink sunglasses, okay? So they're not showing the pink entrance robe here, but the fact that they mentioned the pink entrance robe concerns me, because just like this one over here, okay, if they package this figure in the box, if they put that figure in the box with that robe on him, he's probably going to be stained and horrible looking when you take the robe off, dude. So if they're gonna ruin this figure if they do that. They're gonna drop the ball. This is gonna be the biggest drop of the ball in probably wrestling figure history if they do that. If they package these Owen Hart figures with those staining clothes on him, they're gonna ruin these figures, dude. They're gonna ruin these releases. They're gonna ruin people's experience with these figures. I'm telling you right now, they're gonna ruin these. They're gonna ruin it. So they better not do that, or they're gonna just like shoot themselves in the foot and just drop the ball completely. Like, honestly. So I have to wait and see whether these will just be packaged with the robe or cloth accessories or whatever separately, like somewhere else in the box, or actually on the figures. If they're on the figures, I'm probably not getting them. I'm not buying some stained up nonsense, okay? Just not doing it. Alright guys, so today we have some very massive news in the world of wrestling figures, because for years and years, I mean ever since I was probably ever since I was like less than a teenager, because Owen Hart, passed away I think in 1999. So for many years, right, we did not think that we would get a modern style action figure of Owen Hart. It was kind of like Macho Man when I was growing up, like as far as Jakks Pacific and stuff. They didn't make a classic Superstars Macho Man, and so people thought that we might never see one or something like that. And eventually, of course, Mattel did end up making Macho Man figures. So with Owen Hart here, we now have pre-orders for 2 Owen Hart figures, and they are actually in the pink and black, like, WWE style of look, okay? Of course, Jazwares made some Owen Hart figures before, but they were like, there were looks that weren't very popular or well known necessarily, so a lot of people were pretty disappointed, including myself, that they didn't make this style of Owen Hart, okay? So let's look at this and talk about this. Unfortunately, of course, this is exclusive to Scalp Side Collectibles. I cannot stand Ringside Collectibles. If you followed, my main channel for some time, you should already know that. And even I made a video recently on this channel as well, talking about why I don't like Ringside Collectibles. But they do get, tons of exclusives and stuff. People act like they're so great. Can't stand them. But let's look at this stuff. So it's $49.99. Estimated early December. Says ready to pre-order. Owen Hart Pink and Black Supreme AEW Ringside exclusive. Just reading those words, Ringside, just disgusts me. But anyways, so what do I think of this figure accessory wise? I think the accessories are pretty solid. The price is a bit high, I would say. But of course, they'll use the excuse of, oh, it's an exclusive, so that makes it have to cost more or whatever. We hear that all the time. So that'll probably be the explanation for the price point there. I would say, regarding whether I would get this personally, it actually probably depends on how they package this, okay? So if you look over here, it has this jacket, right? Now, Jazwares is infamous for their cloth, the cloth accessories and stuff, the clothing and stuff, staining the figures. If they put this figure in the box with that jacket on him, I'm probably not going to get this, because I don't want to buy a $50 figure that's stained and looks horrible because they put the flippin' jacket on him in the box. Okay? So if they put the jacket on him in the box, you're probably losing me as a customer. If they don't put the jacket on him in the box, I might get this. Okay? This to me is, I can't see this potentially going on sale at any point, because this is such a highly anticipated figure. You have to understand, this is the culmination of decades of waiting. Okay? And I think a lot of people are gonna just want this figure like crazy, Now, as far as the accessories, we got the pink glasses there. I'm not sure if those will be like how Jax used to do them, where Jax actually had this kind of reflective paper kind of thing, and it had like an elastic, I guess, string that you could put around the figure and stuff like that, have them wear it like that. Mattel, though, what they tend to do is basically have like these solid plastic glasses, and they kind of like just slot in at the side of the figure's head sculpt. Like the hair might have a space for the glasses to, go in there or whatever. So this does look, though, I assume this is going to have like elastic or whatever. So I actually prefer this style, but it is not as durable as the plastic style. So you'll have to be careful with this. Try to not let it get like crumpled up or, disfigured and stuff like that. It'll be pretty easy to damage, is what I'm saying basically. So I think that is just a render though right now, so looks fine, I guess. Now, I think I saw someone on the wrestling figure forums, like I think that's Ringside's forum thing, saying that the likeness on these is horrible. I don't think it's horrible, but I think the likeness on this is better than this. And I do think overall, hold on, I hate this. Hold on. Let's go here. This one right here, I think, oh my, dude, when you zoom in, it changes the image. This is so annoying, man. So many websites are just not optimized, just have such horrible, like, user experience and stuff. But anyways, right here, I think the likeness on this is pretty weak. And I'm surprised at that, because the previous Owen Hart figures, I think, had pretty good likenesses. Like this one here, the King of Hearts Owen Hart exclusive one, although he has the glasses on, so I don't know. Oh, here we go. Here's without the glasses. I think the likeness on this, it's gonna change the image. Oh my goodness. I think the likeness on this one, let's just go back up here. I think the likeness on this one looks stronger. Dude, I'm just trying to click the image, dude. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I think the likeness on this one here is probably stronger. Like, I would say in person, like this image is not, I guess, a great quality image or something, so there's that. But in person, like the one that I have, like this kind of head sculpt that I have, I think the likeness is basically perfect. Like, it's literally spot on to Owen Hart. These renders here, they don't give me as perfect of a, appearance in my eyes, but they're close. I think the problem is probably this. It's probably that what they've done is they've tried to like make him look younger or something. And in my experience, in my opinion, whenever toy companies and stuff try to make a character look younger or whatever, they almost always just botch their face sculpt, because they make them look like someone else. Like, for example, Ric Flair, like the Jazwares Ric Flair does not look like Ric Flair really, because they probably try to make him look younger or whatever, so it's like, oh dude, just stop doing that. If you just use this likeness here, I think you'd be fine. Okay, just change the hair or whatever. I think this likeness is pretty cool. Okay, I don't have this one though. I did not buy this one, and I think specifically because if you notice here, they packaged him in the box with the jacket. So what does that mean? Probably a bunch of staining nonsense. That's why I did not. I think that's why I didn't buy this. The staining and the jacket down him in the box. No, not happening. Then they also made this one right here, this blue, what is this called? Chase 1 of 5,000. Okay. They have this blue one here. And you see, I think the likeness is pretty much just perfect. Like, it literally looks like spot on a miniature Owen Hart. Like, perfect likeness to me in these here. Like, it's spot on, dude. It's spot on. Like, I just think it's spot on. But notice no jacket, right? No jacket. So that's good. Well, no jacket on him in the box. The one I ended up buying was this. But I only bought it to make a custom that I have of my own, like, pink and black Owen Hart. I think I used the upper body from this and the head sculpts and the legs, the lower body from an MJF figure, along with some, like, a singlet I have from Ralph's Figure Clothing. So this is my custom here. This is one of the images. I think I have one black singlet and 2 pink singlets, okay? So you have this here with the pink singlet. This is the black singlet, okay? Another look at that. Kind of not the best quality image there, okay? This is a bit better. So yeah, this is a bit better. So this is my custom Owen Hart figure, okay? Got this and that, this, that, and that. And it scales well, right? So I don't think I personally necessarily need this, but I might consider getting it, okay? So as far as I can tell here, it has, what, 3 head sculpts. So you have this one here, the smile right here, the more like teeth showing kind of smile, right? And then you got these hands and stuff. I like how they have the black painted there, and then the pink knee pads are over the black. Very interesting. Attention to detail, I guess. I would have to see a reference probably. Then we have, what else is there? So this jacket here, this, of course, the shorter hairstyle, I believe is like, this is like 1997 kind of Owen Hart, the like kind of second run of the Hart Foundation kind of thing with Bret Hart, Owen Hart, British Bulldog, and Jim Neidhart, and Brian Pillman, right? But notice here on this jacket, that logo right there doesn't look familiar to me. I can tell it's similar to what Bret Hart uses and stuff, but it seems to be like perhaps an original design that's kind of similar. And then down here, it doesn't say Hart Foundation, it says Owen Hart Foundation, which is interesting. Like, were they not legally allowed to just say Hart Foundation? Like, does WWE own the like trademark or something for that name, Hart Foundation? So they had to put Owen Hart Foundation? I don't know. But then they also have this right here, which I think I saw someone say this is not wrist tape. It's actually a cast that Owen Hart wore at some point, and we see some extra knee pads here. So a decent amount of accessories. Price is a bit high. I don't expect this to go on sale. I guess this is a look at the box. It says 11 pieces there. King of Hearts AEW. Okay, got Owen Hart, an image of him right there. And is that it? That's the last image? No, okay. Let's see. So then we've got this. Cool. And apart from this one on Ringside Collectibles, there's also there's one on Jazwares right here. And it says, reign overall fans with AEW Unrivaled Supreme Owen Hart. Okay, so this one seems to be more so based on perhaps the King of the Ring or something like that. Okay. And we have the same, well, we have like a smile, teeth showing smile, and then this yelling one. Not sure why the yelling one has shorter hair. I guess it could be because they just like removed the neck from the image or something. So I don't know why the yelling one would have. But look at this one over here. This one doesn't have a body either. But the hair looks basically the same as this one. So why does the yelling one have shorter hair? That would be really annoying if they gave 2 of the head sculpts this length of hair and then gave the yelling one short hair. That would be so annoying, dude, because that is like horrible for stop motion and stuff. Like, you don't want to have Owen Hart like this, and then when he yells, his hair is suddenly shorter. That's just like nonsense. So I really hope they're not making this have short hair. That would be really, honestly, like stupid to me. Like, why would you do that? Unless you have no knowledge of the fact that people make stop motion and stuff, because that will be really horrible for animation. Like, why would you do that? 2 of them with this kind of hair, and then one is short hair, dude. Nonsense. I hope they don't do that. I hope they all have the same, length of hair. Has some hands, and there's like a description down here. It says, let's see, featuring 25 points of articulation to land the sharpshooter, this deluxe 6-inch action figure is inspired by Owen's iconic run in the mid-1990s. It enters the ring with a soft entrance robe, crown, and pink sunglasses, okay? So they're not showing the pink entrance robe here, but the fact that they mentioned the pink entrance robe concerns me, because just like this one over here, okay, if they package this figure in the box, if they put that figure in the box with that robe on him, he's probably going to be stained and horrible looking when you take the robe off, dude. So if they're gonna ruin this figure if they do that. They're gonna drop the ball. This is gonna be the biggest drop of the ball in probably wrestling figure history if they do that. If they package these Owen Hart figures with those staining clothes on him, they're gonna ruin these figures, dude. They're gonna ruin these releases. They're gonna ruin people's experience with these figures. I'm telling you right now, they're gonna ruin these. They're gonna ruin it. So they better not do that, or they're gonna just like shoot themselves in the foot and just drop the ball completely. Like, honestly. So I have to wait and see whether these will just be packaged with the robe or cloth accessories or whatever separately, like somewhere else in the box, or actually on the figures. If they're on the figures, I'm probably not getting them. I'm not buying some stained up nonsense, okay? Just not doing it. Now, I wanted to mention as well, there's no price for this one. There's no price here. It says shipping free for US orders over $50. So I don't know what price this will be. I don't see any price here. And I wanted to mention on wrestling, I think it's wrestlingfigurenews.com. Let me actually look for that. Hold on. All right, so I wanted to mention this right here on wrestlingfigurenews.com, right? Posted about the Owen Hart AEW ringside exclusive figure, and it says second version for Jazwares Vault and stuff like that, right? But notice what it says here. It says, first, Ringside's pre-order is live now for the black and pink version of Owen. Owen retails for $49.99 with a December release date. I don't understand why someone would say that a Ringside figure retails for a certain price. You already know they don't keep the same price all the time, okay? If this Owen Hart figure sells really well and gets a lot of pre-orders or whatever, what is Ringside probably going to do? They're probably going to raise the price. So saying something like this retails for $49.99. I mean, I guess in a certain sense, it's good for them to say this here, because if they do raise the price, we will have evidence, right? Secondary evidence that they did that, right? Because this article here says retails for $49.99. Now, I would say I would not use the language of retails when you're not dealing with a retailer, okay? Ringside Collectibles is not a true retailer. They're basically online scalpers. That's what they are. They're not true retailers, right? True retailers actually do stand to a retail price. So if the retail price is $49.99, it's going to be $49.99 today. It'll be $49.99 tomorrow. And no matter what happens on eBay, who scalps it or whatever, no matter what happens there, you know that if you buy it from the retailer, you're getting it for $49.99. But that's not the case with Ringside. If they see a figure doing well, very popular or whatever, they're probably going to jack the price up, okay? So I would not, if you are trying to, I guess, give a favorable reputation to Ringside, I won't even mention the price, because you know the price can change. You know the price can change. They're not always going to keep the same price for everything. They're going to jack the prices up sometimes if they think, oh, this is popular, raise the price. Like, I can't stand these bastards, dude. And the thing is, like, the crazy thing is, and it says right here, 10% off with code icon. You see, like, this whole 10% code thing, dude. Ringside, as I mentioned before, dude, Ringside has basically financially hijacked the entire wrestling figure industry. Like, All these people, dude, tons of people, tons of YouTubers, news reporters or news posters, whatever, dude. They all treat Ringside like they're this wonderful, benevolent company and stuff like that. And it's like, dude, they're not. They're not. Okay? They're not. They're greedy, scalping bastards. Okay? If they actually loved you and cared about you and loved their community and all this nonsense, they wouldn't be jacking the price up because they see, oh, this figure's selling well, jack up the price. That's not what you do when you love people, right? When you love people, you care about your community, you care about your customers or whatever, all this kind of stuff. What would you do? You would actually try to give people fair prices. Give people good deals. And you try to be like, okay, you know what? We know that on eBay, if you go to eBay, you're getting financially exploited. There's scalpers trying to just, raid your wallet completely and stuff. But we're not going to do that. We're going to give you fair business, okay? We're going to be charitable financially towards you. And we're going to keep the original price on our website. So if you buy it from us, you're not getting ripped off. You're not getting scammed. You're getting the original price. But is that what they do? No. These greedy bastards, if they see a figure selling well or whatever, like, oh, raise the price, we'll make more money. Like, it's ridiculous. And the crazy thing is like, it's as if they have no self-awareness. Because I saw Tom from Ringside on, I think it was the Fig Guys. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was the Fig Guys. He was on there, right? I think he was on that like YouTube channel or whatever, doing some live stream thing or whatever. And he was talking about the fact that there's so much scalping going on, and the Ringside, what is it called? The From the Vault thing is kind of like a way to combat the scalping or something, I think he said. And I'm like, are you serious right now? How could you work for a scalping company that does the same thing as the eBay scalpers and then talk about your From the Vault line helping to combat scalping? You are scalpers, dude. Like, the lack of self-awareness is insane to me. How could you talk about combating scalping when your company is scalping? Insane to me. That's like Treasure Toys with Dragon Ball stuff, right? Talking about, oh, we know that people can't find the Goku Black Dimensionia 01C for a reasonable price anymore, so we asked the manufacturer or whoever to reissue it, so we can sell it for a reasonable price. I'm like, Treasure Toys, they raised their price. You raised your price, and now you're complaining about or talking about people can't find it for a reasonable price. You were part of the problem, dude. The lack of self-awareness is insane to me. How could you raise your price on the figure, right? And then talk about the problem of people raising the price on the figure? Are you insane, dude? What are you talking about? And it's just like Ringside. How can Ringside be a scalping, greedy company, right? And then I don't even know what his role is. The Tom guy, is it like public relations or something? Whatever his role is. And your spokesperson guy or whatever is saying, oh yeah, the From the Vault line, there's a lot of scalping going on, so it helps with that or whatever. And I'm like, you can't be serious, dude. You guys are scalpers. You're part of the problem too. It's not just eBay. It's not just Mercari. You are also scalping, dude. Oh my goodness, man. But yeah, I mean, of course, like, I have no personal beef with Justin Kendall here or Tom from Ringside or whatever YouTubers are just like, promoting Ringside, save 10% and all that stuff. I don't have any personal beef with them, but their conduct disgusts me. Their conduct disgusts me. It really does. And I hate the fact that you will basically never see any of these YouTubers, news persons, or whoever. You will almost never see any of them saying anything bad about Ringside Collectibles, their greedy business practices, or anything. Like, you just won't see that. And I'm like, what is this? You're telling me that no one at all can see what they're doing? No one has a problem with this at all, dude? It's just insane to me. But at least it seems that there are some collectors who are aware of ringside being scalpers and don't like them and stuff. So I appreciate those people having that, you know, visual clarity to see what's going on here. But the widespread consensus is just, you know, glazing ringside, acting like they're so awesome and stuff. Oh, we love ringside, yay, and all that stuff. I'm like, dude, just shut up with that garbage. But anyway, so this Owen Hart figure, in summary, I might consider getting, I mean, would I want both of these? I don't know, dude, because if there was one figure that included all this stuff, like, I would rather just buy one expensive figure with like a bunch of stuff in there. So like, say if this figure was like, I don't know, $60, but it had all this stuff, plus it had the crown and the robe or whatever, I'd be like, okay, dude, like, that's like, you're getting a lot of stuff. But if I have to buy this for $50 before shipping, by the way, and then I have to buy this for, I don't know, another $50, it's like, I got to spend $100 to get these two figures. It's just like, it's just a lot to just get some Owen Hart figures, man. So I don't know. It really depends. If I do get any of them, if I were to only choose one, it'd probably be this one here. Okay, but it really does depend on whether they package them with the robe on or with the jacket on or whatever, that kind of stuff. And the last thing I wanted to mention is this right here. So Zombie Sailor Toys made a like this kind of, what kind of style is this? This is like LJN or something kind of style. I don't know. I don't really follow those kinds of styles of figures, but they made this Owen Hart figure, and it really made me wonder, will Zombie Sailor's Toys make their own, like, you know, 6-inch, 7-inch scale Owen Hart figure in the future? Because if they do, I mean, the thing is, though, their figures are pretty expensive, to be honest. Like, the prices are pretty high. And it's weird because I got an email a while ago talking about their figures being on Walmart's website and stuff. And I was thinking that perhaps the prices would be lower because you're available at a like mainstream, you know, seller or whatever. So I thought like the prices would be lower, but the prices were still pretty high. So I don't know what their, you know, I guess they could say, I guess it's because they make way less than like Mattel or something. I don't know what the reasoning would be, but their prices are quite high. If they make an Owen Hart figure, it probably won't be as good value as this one here. It'll probably be like $60. I don't know, possibly $70, I guess. I don't know. Some kind of high price. It might have cool accessories. I don't know. It really depends, but it is possible. Like, if you like, for example, if you don't like how this looks and stuff, like as far as the body sculpt goes, I do think they made him a bit too slender. Because if you look at this one over here, he's a bit more like barrel chested. And I think that really is how Owen Hart looked, even like in his earlier years. Like, he always, to me, he had that kind of like bulky torso. But this over here looks a bit slender to me. A bit too slender. It's not like a problem necessarily. It wouldn't make me like be like, oh, I'm not going to get the figure because it's too slender. But I think the more barrel chested look like this right here, I think this does look more accurate to how Owen Hart actually looked in real life. He had this more like bulky look to him, not like this kind of slender Bret Hart kind of body style. You know what I mean? So there's that. But yeah, if you don't really like how this looks, or you don't like the price or anything, I would say consider the possibility that Zombie Sailor's Toys, is it Zombie Sailor? I guess, let me see. This says Zombie Sailor's Toys. Consider the possibility that Zombie Sailor's Toys might make their own Owen Hart of a similar style. Okay, so that might be something you prefer. But I think that's it for this video. You can comment what you think of this figure, whether you plan to get it or whatever. You know, I've already shared my thoughts, of course. If you like Dragon Ball stuff, my main channel, Animated Recreation, is mainly centered around like Dragon Ball figures, animation with them, stop motion, that kind of stuff. And I do have another channel called Fight Recreation, which is more so about, you know, other fighting franchises like Street Fighter, Hunter x Hunter, that kind of stuff. So anyways, thanks for watching, and bye for now.